viewers, to our weekly episode of Business Insider, where together we'll scan the latest here in Egypt, the region, and across the globe. Hello dear viewers, and welcome to a new edition of Business Insider. I'm your host for tonight, Mohammed Abdelrahim. And President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received his Turkish counterpart Recep Tayyip Erdogan in Cairo on Wednesday, where the two leaders co-chaired the second meeting of the high-level Strategic Cooperation Council between Egypt and Turkey, signing a joint statement and a series of agreements and memoranda of understanding spanning defense, trade and investment, as well as health, agriculture and other fields. Presidential spokesperson Mohammed al-Shenawi said Sisi and Erdogan held a closed-door meeting ahead of the council session, during which they reviewed the trajectory of bilateral relations and explored ways to strengthen cooperation, particularly in trade and investment. The talks also covered the key regional issues of mutual concern, including the developments in the Gaza Strip and the wider Middle East, as well as the situations in Sudan, Somalia and the Horn of Africa. Following the meeting, the two presidents signed a joint declaration issued by the Council and witnessed the signing of several agreements and memoranda of understandings covering military cooperation, trade and investment, pharmaceuticals and medical supplies, social protection, youth and sports, plant quarantine and veterinary services. And speaking at a joint press conference, President al-Sisi said he had held constructive discussions with Erdogan, focusing on the future of bilateral cooperation. He noted that the visit follows celebrations last year marking the centenary of diplomatic relations between Egypt and Turkey. Sisi said the visit provided an important opportunity to continue close consultations on bilateral, regional and international issues of common concern, stressing that Egypt and Turkey share deep-rooted historical ties and long-standing bonds. The President said that both countries have, over decades, upheld principles of peace and coexistence, contributing to the strengthening of bilateral relations and the establishment of the high-level Strategic Cooperation Council. And he also said, the President, that discussions reviewed a positive development of cooperation since the Council's first meeting in Ankara in September of 2024, as well as the outcomes of the inaugural meeting of the Joint Planning Group chaired by the foreign ministers of both countries that was held in November of 2025. The President and the First Lady had welcomed the Turkish President and the Turkish First Lady at Al-Ittihadiyya Presidential Palace on Wednesday, and as we said, so signing a ceremony of a number of agreements and memos of understanding, and also a joint declaration after holding the talks. Again, the level now of ties between Egypt and Turkey is that of high-level strategic ties. With us now over the phone is Mr. Ahmed, the political analyst. Good evening, Mr. Kattab. Thank you for joining us. So, a historic visit by the Turkish president to Egypt, and a lot has been achieved during this visit. Would you please talk to us about the political dimension, the economic dimension, and the cultural dimension, and other dimensions of cooperation, and now the high-level strategic cooperation between Cairo and Ankara?
Yes. First of all, it's my pleasure to be with you now. Today, President Fattah al-Sisi and the first lady of Egypt, Mr. al-Sisi, received an airport minister of Turkey, Mr. Recep Tayyip Erdogan, and her wife. The two leaders meet first in Hadaya Palace, discussing a lot of bilateral cooperation in many different fields, in military cooperation between Egypt and Turkish, because Egypt and Turkish is more qualified and the key country in Middle East, and the two countries have a very strong military force, and this is number one. Number two, President Sisi and the President Erdogan speak about the future of cooperation in the field of industry, and by this occasion, the President of Turkish, Recep Erdogan, presents a special free card to Egypt, electric card to President Sisi as a model for cooperation in the future. And Egypt and Turkey is concentrated in the future of industry of electric cars. And I think we have a lot of cooperation in this field especially. And also in the field of agriculture, in the field of health care, in the field of education. The field of education is very important also between the two countries, because the two countries have ancient Egyptian civilization and they have strong education file, and especially Egypt after launching the new Egyptian museum. This is reflect a very strong way of Egypt in this file, and the file also of tourists. The two countries have a vision to work together in the file of tourists, and the President Tayyip Erdogan sent a positive message about this file. A lot of Turkish real estate company working together with Egypt in this file, especially hotels and resorts. And the two countries have also a mutual trade in this file. Five tourists is very effective and important to Egypt, and very important at the same time to Turkish also. And after the first meeting done and a lot of bilateral relations and the cooperation done between the two countries in Hadaya Palace, President Sisi and President Recep Erdogan met with a group of Egyptian businessmen with cooperation also at the visits of Turkish businessmen in Masa Hotel in Nasr City. More than 500 businessmen from Egypt and Turkey attend this meeting, Egyptian-Turkish Business Forum, and also Minister of International Trade, Dr. Hassan Khatib, attend this meeting and send a speech about the future of cooperation, and also President of Federation, Dr. Mr. Ahmed al-Wakil, visit the businessman, also sent a positive message about the cooperation between the Federation and businessmen of Egypt and also the Federation of Turkish, and a lot of many, more than 5 or 6 investors, key investors from Turkey, sent a speech about the future of cooperation in the field of industry, in the field of ethics, in the field of education, in the field of transportation, and also more than 5 Egyptian businessmen like Mr. Ahmed al-Sawidi speak about the future of industry cooperation with Turkish people and Turkish businessmen. By the way, I'm attending this business forum today, and the B2B meeting also between the businessmen from Egypt and businessmen from Turkey, also discussing and making exchange of business cards in order to cooperate in the future together. And the Minister Recep Tayyip Erdogan invites President Sisi and all the Egyptian businessmen in the coming business conference in Ankara at the end of 2026. And President Sisi accepted his invitation, and I think this is also another chance to strong the bilateral relation between the two countries, and the good relation between the two countries will reflect 100% to the future of mutual trade and increase the volume of trade and sales of trade between the two countries. We aim for more than $15 million as a kind of cooperation in the future, and I think President Tayyip Erdogan also in his speech with us send a lot of opportunity in the field, in many different fields of investment between the two countries, and all time send a special thanks to President Sisi for stop the war between Israel and Gaza,
Yes.
and also for protection of the border in the Middle East, especially around Cairo, and also send a positive message about the welcome reception take place in the Tahrir Palace, and also welcome reception done in Mata hotels, and the warm reception of all Egyptian businessmen to President Kattab Erdogan and their wife, and also to all the ministers attend from Turkish. Today we start a new generation of bilateral relation between Egypt and Turkey. Today we build the future of cooperation in the field of industry, in the field of education, in the field of tourism, in the field of training, especially educational training to the country. Today we approve a lot of memorandum of understanding, and I think we will start after this visit in the field of car industry, especially electric car industry, and also the two leaders speak about the logistics area located in New Suez Corridor and New Suez Canal Logistics Area at the Economic Zone, and also chairman of the Economic Zone sent a wonderful speech about the future operations in this file with Turkey, and also the free trade area president speak about how come we can maximize the export of raw material and the final goods and services to Turkey. And some of the food industry in Egypt speak about the future of export of fresh food and many different kinds of foods to Turkey. And in the same time, also the president of the American Council Chamber also attend in this panel and send a wonderful panel about the future of cooperation between Egypt and all Turkish companies in many different fields. The two sides, business from Egypt and business from Turkish today, built a wonderful relation. This wonderful relation will reflect 100% to a future cooperation between the two countries.
Yes, well, Mr. Ahmed Kattab, thank you very much for your comprehensive, really, wrap-up of this summit meeting between Presidents Sisi and Erdogan, as the Turkish president visited Cairo on Wednesday, and the two presidents agreed to elevate the trade deals and trade volume to at least $15 billion. That's from $9 billion. They also talked about cooperation in many fields. They discussed issues of mutual concern in the region, Gaza, atop of which, and others, and also they discussed military cooperation and investment and trade cooperation, and signed a number of deals and memorandums of understanding. And surely this is a historic visit, and we'll have more here on Nile TV International on President Erdogan's visit to Cairo and his meeting with President Sisi, and the fact that Egypt and Turkey have now elevated their relationship to the level of high strategic partnership. All right, so that was segment one here on Business Insider. Now in segment two, we'll be talking about the role of a specific African organization called CEDAW, and CEDAW is an organization that is affiliated with the African Union Commission, and its role is to have contacts with the African diaspora, with the African migrants around the world, and how can these Africans living outside of the continent help in shaping the continent's future and in helping its development. Let's watch a report about the topic first, and then when we come back, we'll continue discussion about that topic.
As Africa undergoes rapid